Hey there, this is Jackie Bro.
Hey there.
And on today's thing, I got a good sponsor. It's been on here before. Great sponsor, Coley's Christian Cinemas, right off a square. Great family. You don't ever have to worry about what's playing there. You can always take the whole family. Whatever they got going is always worth seeing. And sometimes, it's a movie that's playing in other theaters, but they change it around a bit and make it more appropriate for the family. So it's Coley's Christian Cinemas. Right now, they got two theater movies playing at the moment. One is Heaven is for Real, Greg Kinnear's, and the other one is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I saw that. Well, I saw about half of it the other night. I don't want to get into it, but I went and saw it. It was pretty good. I always like monkeys, animals, anything you put a animal in it, I'm liable to show up and go see that.
What do you mean you only saw half of it?
I a family in there, and I thought, usually you don't have a situation like this in a nice Christian cinemas like this. It's usually, people, well-behaved people. People who go to church are usually, I'm just going to say it, are usually more well-behaved than other folks. And I don't know if these people went into the wrong theater or whatever happened, but they made so much noise and everything else. And I just got irritated. And I said, I'm going to sit here in this movie and try to watch the rest of it, or I'm going to get, wore out, just getting madder and madder at them making all sorts of noise and everything else. It's the whole family.
What kind of noise were they making at Planet of the Apes?
Well, the woman, the mother, her phone kept going off, ringing and this, and it says over and over again before the movie starts, it always comes on, says, please turn off your cell phone.
Sure.
The first thing comes up in Coley Christian Cinemas, everybody pray.
Uh-huh.
You gave you prayer before the movie starts, and then it says turn off your cell phone.
Sure.
Which I think they should turn off your cell phones before you pray, but however you want to do it, I think it's more important to turn your cell phone off to pray than it is sit and watch a movie, but however they want to do it, it ain't my business how they run it.
Well, I like when they say turn your cell phones off up on the screen, they still got a picture of Jesus up there.
Well, yeah.
And it ain't like they're saying Jesus is telling you to turn your cell phone off.
No, it's just,
But it don't hurt to have a picture of Jesus up there behind.
It ain't going to hurt. It's good to always makes you feel better looking at Jesus. It don't matter where it is. But, yeah, Coley Chris, that's the kind of theater it is. Now, I don't know if his family knew that or not. But, Planet of the Apes, I want to see it, and I just soon go see it and get a little scripture in there. You know how they change movies around just a little bit.
Oh, they edit out all the cussing.
Well, yeah.
And all the science.
Yeah, stuff like that. And this one, when the monkeys talk, when the head turns a certain way, you can't see the mouse moving. The screen just freezes up, and he gives a little sermon, says a little scripture, and then it.
Oh, really? So every time a monkey turns around, they freeze it.
Well, just for, a few minutes, and like I said, it's the same movie, except, it's like taking a break. Of course, it's like the monkey, screaming voice like the monkey, and that's I don't understand the new ones. In the old Planet of the Apes, it just sound like regular, well-to-do people, this and that.
Sure,
these
like
new ones.
Downton Abbey, except monkey faces.
Yeah, but these new ones, they have a rough, angry voice, whatever, But anyhow, whoever did the voice doing a scripture, reading parts of the Bible, doing a sermon, had the same kind of scream, monkey.
Oh, so they had to, Coley's Christian Cinemas had to find someone who was familiar with the word, maybe had been to seminary, and also could impersonate a monkey.
Well, not a real monkey, but like in a movie, I guess.
Get close. Could you tell a difference? It sounded
little bit, but you could tell what they was trying to do. I mean, you knew what was happening, but again, I don't mind the movie stopping for a little bit and getting a little. I mean, anywhere you can get a script, same as Coley's snack foods. There's plenty of snack foods you can eat, but you don't get a Bible page in the bag, So it's same with the movie. So it's just like the monkey would just say, Corinthians or whatever, is different things throughout the movie, but the whole thing just kind of freezes for a little bit.
Wait a minute, was the monkeys then, were the monkeys, the Christian monkeys, were they on the side of Jesus?
In this one, Coley's Christian Cinemas, yeah.
Well, what about the people then? The people were bad?
I think they had set it up, changed it, the monkeys were trying to save the people or whatever.
Oh.
Man had gone, to see, it's kind of like Revelations, it's the end of the world, and there's only a few people. I guess everybody. It didn't say like left behind, but you could think that people.
Sure.
It's the only thing left on earth, and monkey and sinners, and the monkey want to go to heaven.
Monkey ain't that stupid.
Well, no, the smartness. That's the whole point of the Planet of the Apes. Monkey's smarter than the man.
Well, what about evolution? At Christian cinema, seem like it's.
It ain't got nothing to do with evolution. Hell, it's science. It was chemical or something made the monkey smart or something like that. It was some sort of plague or whatever killed everybody off. But like I said, you can turn it around, make it seem like revelation, whatever you want to do. But yeah, whoever, I guess these people were left behind, and the monkey is trying to save them, and they ended up fighting.
So they did a lot of editing and a lot of work on this one.
Well, that's what, good quality Christian cinema is neat. I don't think I had to change anything in Heaven Is For Real, as far as I know. Reckoneers, I think that was already had Jesus in it, as far as I know.
Well, I heard, though, that since their Planet of the Apes is so popular, their version of Planet of the Apes, they're going to do a Heaven Is For Real monkey version and put some apes in that.
Well, I'll go see that as long as it's family. And then, like I said, I had to leave. I'm going to go back and finish it later. I got my money back. I hate to. I like my money.
Wait, this family was that obnoxious to you?
The phone was going off. They had 3 little boys, and just one bigger than the other, lined up. And the boy bought an icy, and they had the straw just moving it around in there. I don't know how how it sounds. You just sit there digging in the. It just kept
like
just.
Paul Simon, Rhythm of the Saints.
What?
He's got one of them instruments on that album.
Well, whatever. We're just taking it just moving. I said, young man, could you please stop doing that? Maybe if you quit making so much noise with your icy in between watching the monkeys and the people fight, you might learn something here about respect, fellow man or something, learn a sermon or something. But they just wouldn't stop. They wasn't going to have none of it. It's talking through the whole thing. And most of the time when the movie would freeze up, I guess they didn't know. I assumed everybody says right there on the marquee, Coley's Christian Cinema cut of Dawn Planet of the Apes is what it said. It says clear on the poster, on the outside, on the marquee, everything else. And I guess these people, but every time that it would freeze, the monkey turn his head, look the other way where you can't see his mouth, and the picture goes still, and then you'd hear the scripture. And every time, that's when they start talking the most. And I don't think they were holy roller, they weren't in the spirit.
Oh, they weren't.
No, I don't.
Speaking in tongues during the monkey sermon.
No, I think they was just the phone going off and making that noise with the icy, the straw and the icy and the plastic in the top just going up and down, back and forth.
And nobody else is saying anything to them?
I don't know. They may have after I left. I said, I don't know how much you spent. You wasted your damn money. Coming here, I didn't say damn in the
Christian cinema.
Not there, yeah, but I mean I wanted to. I'll say that. I wanted
probably
to.
Scared them kids half to death. Can you imagine sitting in a dark movie theater and here comes old goat smelling Jackie Broll's beard in your face, like young man this and young man that, and your icy noise?
Well,
he'll never go to a movie theater again, Christian or otherwise.
Well, he don't need to go to the movie theater. If anybody else wants to watch it, I hope I did scare him from ever going to the movies again. They stayed in there. I don't know why anybody else staying there with them, but I walked out and I said, I hate to do this, but I want my money back because
Oh, they probably think you hate Jesus then.
Well, I know all the Coley family, they know better than that. It ain't that. I don't know if a person working in the booth that they did knew me. I don't recognize them, but whoever it was, they understood. I explained to them the situation,
They didn't go in and kick that family out.
Well, they may have. It was too late for me. I even if they kicked them out, how much had I missed? Otherwise, unless the movie had froze up and the monkey was doing scripture in the amount of time. I mean, nothing against watching that, but as far as the plot being going forward, it don't have a lot to do. You know what I mean? It's just like
sure. How long did you stay in there?
I saw about 20 minutes, 20
minutes. How many times did they stop and do a monkey sermon?
At least about 6-7 times.
6-7 times.
Well, they just took an opportunity every time a monkey turned his head the other way. If a monkey is facing away from a camera, with a picture, like I said, just go still, and you hear that monkey voice.
Well, that is a perfect time to lay over a monkey sermon.
Yeah.
But it just seems like maybe that's overkill. Like every time a monkey turns away, it seems like a lot.
Well, there's a lot in the Bible, and there's a lot to learn in there, and it ain't gonna hurt nobody.
How long is this cut of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes?
I don't know.
Coley's
All
version?
movies, in my opinion, are too long these days.
Yeah,
but
you're
I don't
right.
know. It's over 2 hours. I think I just had time to kill. And like I said, I like any kind of animal, whether it's the scripts or not. But I mean, I like.
But you hate children.
Well, no, I'd like children just fine if they behave, if I know, that's what's pitiful, because the adults were on the phone and talking, and they's just as bad as a youngin'. And you can't really get mad at the youngins, because that's all they're learning from the parents. If a parent's acting that way, then they're going to learn to grow up and just talk and make everybody miserable around them, make as much noise as they can in a movie. So that's where they learned it from. But the movie seemed pretty good. And I want to go finish it sometime. But I got a pass to go back. After I explained to them, they understood. But I got a free pass to go see that. I may go see it next week sometime. Got Coley's Christian Cinemas right now. Heaven. I want to go see Heaven for Real too. Colin.
Well, wait a week or two, and they'll get that monkey version in there. And I don't know what they're going to do. I think what they're going to do is they're splicing in. They went down to the tutus and costumes just off the square. They got a couple monkey suits.
Yeah.
Some of the Coley's people, and they just they dance around, and then they instead of when a monkey Andy Serkis turns around, and they put a version sermon over that. In this, they got two guys in monkey suits dancing around, and then they freeze, like somebody says, freeze, and the monkeys, gorilla suit people, freeze, and then somebody off camera says, gives you a Bible verse or two, and then they go back to dancing, and then they go back to Heaven is for Real.
What?
Look, they're making money hand over fist, and they're spreading the
they
gospel.
deserve to make money.
It doesn't seem like something you would think people would want to watch, but these days, YouTube, Vine, who the hell knows what people want to watch?
I don't know what any of that is. But anyway, I want to see Heaven is for Reals with the monkeys, or with that. I like Greg Kinnear's all right, I guess. But, if he's turned his life around making movies like that, good for him.
So that's Coley's Christian Cinemas.
Yeah, that's my sponsor. I'll say it. Coley's Christian Cinemas, right off the square. Good family. Normally, I don't mean to run it down. This is. I've seen other movies there. Praying Mule, lots of different movies there. And didn't have that kind of nonsense going on in there. So this was an exception. Mostly, it's nice. Church-going people know how to behave, know how to act in a movie theater or church, for that matter, either one of them.
You think they act this way in church when they go to church?
I don't know if these people go to church. I don't. If you go to church and you on your cell phone through the whole, there ain't no point in going. Just stay home, stay on your phone. Same with the movie.
It's one thing. That is one thing about church that you don't think about. But if your parents raise you up from a child.
Yeah.
In the church, you know how to act in a movie theater. It's good practice for going to the movies.
And at least, most youngins, you have to do something special in the church to make it interesting for them. But most of the time, let's be honest, they ain't. Youngins squirming this and that. You don't give a child an icy in church. You don't
that's
have
a
it.
recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Well, if you go, if you can sit on that pew and stay still long enough to get through a sermon, you should be able to sit through the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Coley's Christian cut.
Now, there are some of these big mega churches that got snack bars and stuff. I think you can go out and get an icy or whatever they call it.
But you don't come back. You don't bring it back in with you.
Now, you have to sit in the vestibule and finish it out there.
But you can watch on now they got video screens. You still sitting there in the eating there, and you could still keep up with the sermon.
Yeah, or you can watch it on an app on your phone.
Yeah, and then also we got the exercise room where you can get on the treadmill and just listen to the preacher. I don't know about that. Seems like, I don't know, killing two birds, one stone, I don't know.
Well, they got that laundromat at the big Church of Christ.
Yeah.
You can go do your laundry and watch a sermon.
That's a place where
They're not. It's not the church's laundromat. It's the laundromat next door, but they pipe it into the laundromat.
Well, yeah.
So, they're trying to, you got to go where the people are, is what Jesus said.
Well, yeah.
You got to put the butts in seats.
If Jesus was alive today, back then he'd talk to fishermen and this and that. He sure as be.
He'd be laundromats, movie theaters.
Yeah.
Wherever.
Well, I would tell you this, Jesus ain't going to start witnessing to you or whatever in the middle of a movie. He would wait till the movie's over.
He'd be polite about
Yeah,
it.
he wouldn't act like this family did. If, I'm sure Jesus appreciates Heaven is for Reals and Donald Planet Abe's Christian Cut. Anything getting his message out, I'm sure he appreciates it. He wants you to watch it.
I got a sponsor this week, Jackie.
Yeah.
It's sort of a follow-up. If you remember last week, it was sort of an unusual, it was our special edition podcast episode.
Use our town, yeah.
88 was our special edition. I had to get on down the road. We recorded it ahead of time. But our sponsors is even a special edition in terms of our sponsors, whereas typically, we have a lot of sponsors on here, and Jackie gets mad about my sponsor. This is a prostitute. This sponsor
that's
stole
not a
his
sponsor.
merchandise.
That's not a legitimate business.
Or Jackie has some sponsors that he doesn't know what they do or sell or services they provide. Or the sponsor talks to his dead wife and has a store full of coyotes now.
I think I got all that cleaned out by now.
Lots of different things that cause us sometimes to bicker, to spar verbally. Last week we had two sponsors we agreed on. It was pretty cut and dry. There was no dirty laundry being aired. There was no peculiar behavior involved. It was Jackie's sponsor was Sullivan Auto Parts.
Right off Square, yeah.
And my sponsor was McKinley Air Conditioning, service and repair. Stay cool this summer with McKinley.
Yeah.
Nothing that upset either one of us.
No, it's what the sponsor's supposed to be. You're supposed to just say, and I didn't mean to get into all the detail. I just, that's what happened when I went to see that movie. I wasn't trying to talk bad about my particular sponsor. It didn't have nothing to do with the theater. It had to do with that family.
They like to hear a personal story.
Well, yeah. Every other experience I've ever had at Kohler Christian Cinema has been just fine.
He didn't terrorize any children any other
Well,
times.
they didn't sit there and make a bunch of noise like heathens and this and that.
But I do need to clarify something. My sponsor this week is McKinley Air Conditioning again,
Right.
sales and repair.
Yeah.
Stay cool this summer with McKinley.
Off a Square.
Off a Square.
Yeah.
We were talking about Sullivan Auto Parts and McKinley Air Conditioning. We said they're probably buddies.
Well, I said I seen them in the store before. They knew each other.
A lot of times our sponsors hate each other or are rivals.
Well, if one is not a sponsor and a thief robbing the other one that is a legitimate sponsor, then they got a reason to be upset as far as I'm concerned.
But McKinley wanted me to come on here and clarify that he is not friends with Sullivan of Sullivan's Auto Parts.
Wow.
He would describe them more as enemies.
Enemies?
I think his words were, he hates that son of a bitch.
Hey.
He said if he saw him crossing the street and he was in his car, the only reason he'd slow up is to get out and kick his ass.
Oh, that ain't... I saw him in the store. You making this up.
He said they used to run together. Something happened.
Something happened?
Well, there's some bad blood now. McKinley found some pictures.
Wow.
Sullivan. Nowadays, people don't remember. It used to be a scandal. Could say, oh, he found some pictures of him and whoever, his daughter, his wife, his brother, whatever.
Wow.
You find a picture, an envelope, got some pictures in it. The pictures maybe with the rounded corners. We're going back a few years.
Wait.
Those pictures are going to be seedy. There's going to be a story behind them. Now you get stuff emailed to them. You text, you sext Anthony Weiner. You send a picture of your junk. It turns up on phones. Used to, people had to go somewhere where you could get pictures developed, and the staff would just go, here you go. and that's how word would get out. And then they put them pictures somewhere, like in the glove compartment or in the drawer in the kitchen where they keep the pot holders and the lighters.
What?
And then you dig around in there, put them in your underwear drawer under your bed. That's where you put all the pictures of you out there, you know, with a boob in your hand.
What? I don't want to hear anything.
You
What
know
has
what
got
I'm
to do
talking
with it?
about.
I don't know what
Like
it's
a
got to do with
70s photograph with the rounded edges, kind of faded looking, like
you talking about dirty pictures. I know what you're saying. All right.
browned from like hanging it out the window, smoking a cigarette in your El Camino, like it wrapped around a boob.
All right. I don't need to
That's
hear this.
white
I don't know why.
from being, but the rest of her is brown, and you can't see faces, maybe chins. Like a pale breast and a tanned female arm and a tanned farmer's tan male, and that's the kind of picture people used to find.
What's this got to do with McKinley and Sullivan? It ain't got nothing to do with it.
I'm just setting a scene.
Well, I don't care what the scene is. I don't want to hear about all this.
He found some pictures
What has that got to do with?
of Sullivan with his cousin, Lynette.
Oh, hell.
Lynette is married to a man in a wheelchair. Nobody begrudges Lynette going out and doing what she can do. But McKinley just didn't think that his friend Sullivan was going to be messing around with Mrs. Lynette
Need to
wheelchair.
watch what you're saying on here. You taking the word of him. I don't know nothing.
He showed
about...
me the pictures.
Oh, hell.
Now, I
don't...
couldn't see Sullivan's face. I only
He's
saw his
mad
chin.
and got-
He got that scar on his chin.
He got a family of his own. You getting on here running somebody down like that, let them two settle it. I don't care how much money anybody gives you. You don't come on here and run somebody down.
Well, give me $25.
Well, if it's personal, then they need to work it out themselves. We don't need to talk about it on here.
Well, we got on here. We're the ones that said McKinley and Sullivan were best friends. Meanwhile,
I said
Sullivan,
I saw them in the store. I know they socialized together, and I wasn't telling no fib. That's what I saw.
Sullivan's running around on his wife and his kids.
Oh, hell.
Lynette's
You
husband.
don't know that?
I do. It was when he was in the wheelchair basketball Olympics.
What?
And Lynette that's what was written on the back of the photo. He showed it to me, Jackie. It was written on the back. Like Sullivan got that scar on his chin. I saw the scar. And then on the back it said, me and Lynette when her husband was in the wheelchair Olympics. And he's got his hand wrapped around her boob.
I didn't see these pictures, and I don't want to. It's none of my business. You let McKinley and Sullivan work that out on their own. You don't take $25 and run somebody down on here. There ain't no point in that. You just do the legitimate sponsors. Now, if McKinley wants to do McKinley washing machine, that's fine. You don't need to take $25 and sit there and call someone a SOB or this or claim whatever. That's just hearsay. And I don't want to be involved in that.
Well, he said that we kind of started it. Because
I didn't start nothing. Took $25 for selling auto parts. Sullivan's Auto Parts off Square for all your auto part needs.
He said the way that you were talking about Sullivan's Auto Parts sounded like you loved Sullivan.
I don't.
He said if you're going to be Team Sullivan.
I like him as much as I like McKinley. I know him about the same. They both seem fine to me. I don't know nothing about this their personal lives. I don't need to know about none of this.
McKinley said you sounded pretty pro Sullivan. And he
they-
said you are either with McKinley and against Sullivan or with Sullivan against McKinley. There's no middle ground.
Yeah, there is middle ground.
There's
If
no
somebody
middle ground.
If you give me $25, I just do the sponsor, and that's it. It don't matter who he likes or who he don't like. It ain't got nothing to do with it.
Look.
I said I saw them here in the store together,
Mm-hmm.
and I did. They used to come in here. They sit at the same booth and sit there and talk and eat barbecue. I've seen them do it.
Well, it's,
Now, I didn't say they was best friends. I just said I seen them socializing is what I did.
those days are over, Jackie.
Well, that's fine. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
World War I started over something even less than this.
What?
Pretty much, kind of. Sullivan and McKinley are going to rip this town apart, and you either stand with Sullivan or you stand with McKinley.
I don't stand with either one of them. They're
He
both
said
fine
he
establishments.
No.
If you need auto parts, it's just as
It's a
good.
coward's way, Jackie.
Cowards. What do you?
He said that he said him and Sullivan used to run together. And then he found these pictures. He confronted Sullivan about it. They talked it out. They pushed each other around in the parking lot.
Why?
But then they're like, okay, you know what? This was a long time ago. We can let this go. But then he said when he heard you on here talking about how they were best buddies.
I didn't
best
say no
friends
such
in the
thing.
world,
I
he
said
said
they
it got to him, and he went over to Sullivan's house. And he, leave your car unlocked here in Murfreesboro. He took a butcher knife and just ripped the interior of his car
This
up.
I don't need to hear nothing about this. This got to do with authorities. Somebody's
He
tearing
called
up
him
someone's personal
He
property.
said, hey, you own an auto parts store. Why don't you get you some new seats?
Well,
You-
you tell the police that
Adulterer?
I ain't got nothing to do with this.
Well,
Neither do you.
You kind of do, because
I do.
when you said it, that's what set him off.
I,
Now
well,
they're enemies.
If he gets set off because I saw him in here, sitting here eating together one time, then he shouldn't have sat down with them and ate with
And
him.
it ain't just the podcast where this is getting out. It's election season here in Tennessee, and a lot of roadside signs like vote, Jasper Berry, sheriff, or whatever, county mayor, Lemuel tickets. But now there's road signs if you're on Team Sullivan or Team McKinley. It's come down to that. You either shop in Sullivan's Auto Parts or you shop McKinley Air Conditioning.
Well, people need air conditioning and people need auto parts. It's two separate things.
You got to make a choice.
What do you mean I got to make a
You gotta
choice?
make
If
a
I
choice,
need my air
Jackie.
conditioner fixed and then I need something, new rear view mirror, I can go to both places.
Are you on the side of a short-tempered
I ain't on nobody's side. That's the point I'm trying to make. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
upholstery ripper, or are you on the side of a man who fucks a wheelchair man's
Right.
wife?
Enough. I'm not going to hear the language. It's bad enough with you saying all this anyway. I don't need to hear that with it.
Did you not wonder riding down the road? You saw all these signs in people's yards said Sullivan, said McKinley. Did you think they were running for something?
I
No,
didn't
it's
think they was running. I thought just advertising for their establishment, various
That's a
ventures
false
of business at their
equivalency.
end. It ain't,
false equivalency, Jackie. You got to pick a side in this day and age. You
I
got to
don't
be
have
on
to
one
pick no
side or
such
another.
thing. I ain't got nothing to do with either side of this. They need to work it out themselves, and that you don't need to have nothing to do with it. Taking no sides
I'm
on here.
a team McKinley unless Sullivan wants to give me $25 and his
hell.
side of the
no,
story.
he don't need to, if he wants you to be do a sponsor on here for him. If he wants you to be a sponsor on here, then you take $25. You don't take $25 and run somebody down or claim they held somebody's this or that or whatever in no
It's
picture.
just like you, Jackie, to fan the flames, get something stirred up, and step back and go like,
I didn't fan nothing. I said they come in here and they was socializing, and that's
well,
the
you've
truth.
ripped this town in two,
I didn't do no such a thing. Hell,
and I don't know how it's going to end, but it ain't gonna end good for half the people in this town.
well, it's going to end however it's going to end. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
You are the Franz Ferdinand of this, Jackie.
What?
You're the Franz Ferdinand.
The French, what?
And that's McKinley Air Conditioning. Sales, repair. Stay cool this summer
That's fine.
with
Say
McKinley
that.
Air
That's
Conditioning.
all you had to say was that.
Fuck Sullivan.
Hey.
Hey, look at there. You see him? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hey, it's Jackie Bros.
Hey, people. You remember me, don't you? Dunlap?
Yeah.
Dunlap the man.
Well,
Back in town, ready to throw down, podcast style.
he was gone last week and he did a special edition. Where'd you go look at cards, Chattanooga?
Chattanooga Trading Card Convention.
Yeah.
I'm specialized in Morky Mindy. I have what did I have? 3 cards.
Did you get them all? You going down and get all more cards, whatever it was?
I have 4 cards now.
Yeah.
It's not this. I'm not acquiring them at the speed I would like. But
How often do they have these things in Chattanooga? I mean,
this was the first one they've had in Chattanooga. They call this Mid-South CardCon.
CardCon.
But they are. I expect them to be popping up like crazy. And sometimes there's CardCon sections of other cons. Like you can go to a Comic-Con and they might have a CardCon section somewhere. Or you can go to a greeting card con and they might have trading cards, trading card con section. I think Dragon Con has a pretty big card con section. And, gun shows sometimes have card. Usually a lot of Dukes of Hazzard or Sheriff Lobo cards.
Well, that makes sense, yeah, but at a gun show, but
you're not going to find so much your Power Rangers or your Mork and Mindy at a gun show. But you never know. You never know what people are going to have.
Yeah,
so you have to go to a lot of shows. And this was a lot of fun. I really just kind of want to wrap this up, get my Mork and Mindy's, and maybe move on to something else because I'm thinking about it an awful lot, and I'd like to reclaim this part of my life.
Well, I think 4 is too many. Quit while you ahead. Get too many of them.
Well, they tell a story, so when you...
What do you mean they tell a
take
story?
the frames from the show. That's true. The Mork and Mindy, the show, barely told the story. But these cards...
He learned a lesson every time. He'd go back
to talk to
space.
What was his name?
I don't remember none of it.
He was from Endor. He
live in an egg.
He talked to Orson? Is that who he talked to?
I think so. I don't remember any of it. His Mindy's daddy was in the symphony or something like that. He was a well-to-do. He's like Winchester on MASH.
Also bald.
Yeah. Same, yeah. And like classic music or whatever. Where does it take place? In Denver. In space. Colorado in space.
Yeah, those are 2 good locations, though. Because in space, you get Star Wars kind of people into that. And then in Colorado, you get like pretty scenery, trees.
Well, I remember he come from Happy Days, come off of Fonzie, and I'd never thought he's Mork, Williams, he wears me out. I can't watch him.
You don't like Mork Williams?
No, Mork Williams. What is his name?
Robin
Williams. He wears me out, runs his mouth too much, running all over the place. And Mork's the worst thing. Half of it's gibberish. It's made up words. I don't think that's funny.
There were some times on there where like the audience would be laughing. I'd be like, I don't know that he even said anything that made sense. But I guess once you're there in a studio audience, you're just going with the flow.
He's on drugs, what I think it was.
You think everybody in the 70s is on drugs?
Well, everybody in the 70s who's trying to be funny is on drugs. All of Saturday Night Live people died off of drugs.
Not all of them.
On drugs.
Yeah.
All of them were. As far as I know.
You're probably right.
Well, that's the way it was back then. Some of them probably still do it. I don't know. You think after so many people dies of drugs, people quit doing them, but they don't. They keep on.
Are you all right? You seem a little down.
I ain't just talking about I don't understand why people, treat themselves that way. You have better respect for yourself. Don't do drugs, run around, talk a bunch of nonsense. I don't care how much money they throw at you. Put you on TV, all this. People laughing at you, not with you.
Do you think in the 70s they just went around watched people on drugs and found the funniest people high? Whatever combo.
I guess, I don't know how they do TV, but that's what it seemed like back then. Half of it was on TV. Chico and the Man, how'd he die?
I think he killed himself.
Well, drugs made him kill himself, I think. He was on drugs and messed up. Rich Pryor on drugs, messed up, set himself on fire. He worked out and got himself better, thank goodness. And like I said, in later years, he made some movies I thought were cute and nice and didn't have a language in it. He got off of drugs. Then he, of course, got sick.
So I got my cards to come back from Chattanooga. saw some lovely ladies, Chattanooga nightlife.
I don't want to hear about you and nightlife and ladies. I don't care. Keep that to yourself. I don't want to know about it. Nobody on here wants to hear it either. Nobody on here wants to hear about you getting more cars, for that matter.
Well, let me ask you, Jackie, would you rather hear about the cards or would you rather hear about me getting kicked out of a strip club?
Either one. I'm just glad you had a good time. Whatever it was you did and you enjoyed yourself, that's fine. I don't need to hear about it.
I did have a 5th Morky Mindy card, but I tried to tip a stripper with it, and she just laughed at me and then asked me for real money. And I told her, you don't have to tip a stripper. You don't have to. Tipping in a restaurant, you don't even have to, let alone a stripper. It ain't like they should be able to throw you out of the club. I paid the stripper in money. Hard-earned money that I was going to use for Morky Mindy cards.
All right, I don't
care. She
care.
took that money, and then she's like, where's my tip? And I said, I give you all the money I had, but I got, I went to day 1 of the card con. I'm going back tomorrow. I guess I'll just look since I give you all my Morky Mindy money for what was honestly a half-assed lap dance.
I don't want to hear about no dance.
But I paid you for something, for some subpar rubbing and grinding.
All right, I'm not going to hear it on here. I don't care.
And now you want a tip from me. And I do not have that. I spent money on these 2 Morky Mindy cards. And she called the bouncer over, and then another bouncer come over. Then there are like 3 more strippers. Now gang up on me. You know how they do. And I said, okay, look, I'll give you this Morky Mindy card as a tip. Now, and it was in the plastic. And the price was still on the back, and she could see how much I give for it.
I don't care what a stripper wants with. I understand people what they do to degrade themselves to get money in this world. It's sad that. But stripper don't want to have nothing to do with no Morky Mindy card.
And then here come I got 2 kids and this and that, and I started looking after my sister's kid. And who made that decision? You get your sister's kid. What's wrong with your sister? That they placed that child in your custody. Anyway, here's a Morky Mindy card. You can go down to CardCon tomorrow. They didn't want to hear it. You can sell this back. No, tip money. I said, I don't have. Out I go.
Well, you shouldn't have been in there to begin with.
But I went kicking and screaming. I ran up on the stage. I rubbed my butt on the pole. I put on a little show. They thought it was funny out of the other customers, which there were not a lot midweek in the Chattanooga Strip Club. There were about 3 or 4 people in there. But they enjoyed that. And then they grabbed me by the leg and pulled me out of the club. And I was screaming at them and hollering and folding chairs over. I was spitting like a camel. And then I was on the street.
Well, you showed your butt in there. Good for you. I'm glad you had a good time.
And they kept the card after all that.
Well,
and the other one, my 4th card, should not have brought him to the strip club in my pocket. I know better than that. I know better. But it was like my juices were flowing. I was just ready to go after that great card show, and I got those 2 Morky Mindy cards, and I was just like, okay, you know what? I am pumped up. I am primed. I want to see some Chattanooga strippers.
All right.
So I went in there, and that's what happens.
Well, good. You got what you deserve. You go in a place like that, bad stuff happens.
So 2 things: you don't have to tip strippers.
Well, evidently you supposed to, because they wouldn't have thrown you out otherwise.
And number 2, Chattanooga strippers just don't really seem that into it.
Well, I wouldn't do either one.
Well, I would have done her.
I wouldn't go in what I was saying. I wouldn't go in the strip place.
Even now, after all this,
stripper no money.
Even at this point, after all we went through, if she called me up and said, hey, you want to get together? I'd be like, where you at?
All right.
Where you at, girl?
I don't want to hear any of this.
And I try to steal that card back because she don't know what she's got. She probably give it to one of them kids.
And next time you leave town, I ain't going to ask you if you had a good time or not. If I do, just say I had a good time or a bad time. I can't tell from what you're saying whether it was good or bad or anything.
Well, I started keeping a journal again, so I can just let you see that.
I don't want to see no more journals with your sketches in it and your dirty words. I don't want to see it. Keep it away from me.
It is pretty much just sketches of body parts.
I don't want to see it.
Next to it, I write the name of the body
left
part.
one on the store in here. I picked it up. Didn't know what it was. I thought it was a children's book. You know, somebody left a homework of this or that and flipped through there. You just filthy, pitiful.
But I had a good time. It's good to be back home. Good to be back in the borough.
What happens in Chattanooga needs to stay there. I don't want to hear about it here. I don't care nothing about many
people
cars.
in Chattanooga need to stay there.
Well, I don't want to hear about that. I like going to Chattanooga to see, if you'd gone to the aquarium and come back and told me I saw this kind of fish or that kind of fish, I'd listen to that all day.
They told me I went to the aquarium, but that was one of my blackout days. I do not recall it.
Oh.
But I found the program you buy for like $5 or whatever, and I had a poster of an eel, and it was signed by an usher named Heather.
Huh.
So I don't know what went down with Heather at the aquarium.
I don't want to know.
But it was signed Heather, and it said the Usher. Or maybe her last name was Usher. I don't know. Heather, if you're out there, I mean, she signed my eel poster, so things couldn't have gone that bad. So if you're out there and you want to hook up, let me know where you at, girl. And I bought an icy.
All right, enough. Are you through?
Eel icy.
I don't want to hear about any of you making a butt of yourself somewhere else. It's bad enough you wear out Murfreesboro. Go down Chattanooga. Stay there next time. Don't come back here.
I had a good card show, strip club, aquarium. Good week.
All right.
Now seriously, are you okay? You just seem a little. Normally you'd be like really mad and yelling. You just seem a little blue.
Well,
Jackie.
I mean, sure, a little blue.
I ought to be preoccupied.
The world's falling apart right now.
Well, I didn't really read the news.
Well, the news is pitiful. There ain't nothing good in it. The world is over Middle East. Of course, that's always bad, but it's worse than regular bad now.
Really?
Yeah, Israel blowing up Palestine, this and that.
Oh, man, is that happening?
Ground troops. And then Iraq, old ISIS is taking over.
Yeah,
they worse than Al-Qaeda, they say. Worse than Al-Qaeda. I seen what they're capable of. What does that mean ISIS is? Good Lord. That's going on. Russia shot down an airplane. Killed a bunch of, I think it's American and a bunch of AIDS people, which, the AIDS people probably put them out of the misery as far as I don't know what kind of state they was in, but Bill Clinton's was mad because all the AIDS people got killed on an airplane. Seems like that's a fast way to go as opposed to it's horrible. I saw Philadelphia, old Tom Hanks. It's pitiful what he went through.
I didn't hear about that.
Well, AIDS people, and there was one American, I don't know if he's one of the AIDS people or not, got blown up in an airplane. And then what's going on down here on the border, all these children, they sending all the children up here. And they just it's pitiful. Got them in cages and all this. And Obama is out there raising money, playing pool, drinking beer. The world is falling apart. And they still ain't found Casey Kasem's body.
These bodies missing?
They don't know where it is. Somebody, as bad as things are, it's bad when someone's stealing Casey Kasem's body. Pitiful.
Seems like maybe you should have led with that. Casey Kasem's body dead. It did maybe worked up to the plane or Israel.
I'm just telling you how horrible things are in the world
sound horrible.
right now. It is horrible.
I didn't. I was sort of preoccupied with
Well-
my vacation plans, and I did not know about this plane. That sounds terrible. It sounds like this Israel thing kind of escalated.
It's terrible, killing each other down there. You know, it's everywhere you look nowadays, something terrible's going on. And then, you know, Maverick died too.
I heard about that.
Yeah, James Garner passed away. Bless his,
Oh,
bless
that's
his
too
soul.
bad.
Yeah.
Weren't we just taught? We said last
That was clip of the week. I think was one of them commercials.
we wanted people
Polaroid
to
commercial.
find
Him and what her name was.
Marriott Hartley.
Yeah.
We talked about Marriott Hartley.
That's one of the best things. He did a lot of good stuff. I love Maverick. I love Rockford Files, this, that. But those commercials is funny and as good as anything he did.
And we asked people to put all those, and a few people did. We thank you for that. But do you think we played a part in this? We said
What do you
last
mean
week
played a part
we
in?
mentioned people when we were recording ahead of time, and we were afraid that if we mentioned people on the podcast we recorded ahead of time, that we were going to doom them because they would be dead, and we'd be talking about it. We tried to cast the view on last week's episode. We're like, everybody we're mentioning probably going to wind up dead because we're talking about them ahead of time. All those people, as far as I know, still alive. But James Garner, from a few weeks ago, dead. I wonder
Yeah.
if we killed him. He was probably like 90 years old.
All I can say is keep an eye on his body, wherever they're taking it.
Nobody's going to steal James Garner's
Why
body.
would they steal Casey Kasem's body?
Well, I think that's some
If
family.
I was in the trade of stealing bodies, I'd much rather have James Garner body than Casey Kasem's.
Well, Casey Kasem touched a lot of people weekly, and there's an
Oh, you
intimacy
gonna
with
say-
radio.
Well, Rockford, I watched every week. Angel, him and his daddy. I watched Rockford all the time. I watched Maverick for years and years. He touched just as many people in his way that Casey Kasem did. What has that got to do with it? I don't care how many people you touch. Don't nobody need to be touching your dead body.
So I thought the Casey Kasem thing was like some family disputes. You're saying that there's a celebrity body snatcher out there?
I don't know. They said Casey Kasem's body's missing. Pitiful. Don't know. Nobody know where it is. He should have been in the ground by now, as far as I'm concerned.
True. The longer you wait to bury somebody,
It more chances, more things can happen.
and we're not saying that every time that you really got to keep your dead people under lock and key, but the longer you keep them above ground, more chances there are somebody's just going to back a pickup to the loading dock at the funeral home and spirit it away.
I don't know what to do with that body. I don't know. Pitiful. The world is turned upside down.
Plus Israel and the Ukraine plane and ISIS.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, it's pitiful. And the border down there, all
Border,
them
all
children.
them kids.
Yeah.
But still, it is disturbing to think about icons like Casey Kasem and James Garner's body being loaded into somebody's trunk.
I don't know what they'd want to do with it. It's crazy to me.
That's not saying these other crises don't signal like the end of the world or something horrible like some sort of decline in morality or maybe that we thought we were progressing as a species and really we're all just animals just tearing at each other's skin for the taste of the blood with our teeth,
Wow.
our animal teeth. But just stealing bodies, they don't even do that. Although maybe they do. Maybe there is a lot of body desecration going on in different parts of the world. I hope that ain't where James Garner wound up. He's not. His body ain't missing, as far as we know. Just Casey.
No,
Kasem.
I just saying, I wouldn't put it past somebody. If you're going to steal Casey Kasem's body, I don't know what would stop you from taking James Garner.
Open carry.
Well, yeah.
They see you mourning with your gun on.
Yeah. Nowadays, I'd take my gun with me to the funeral home just to keep an eye. You got to watch a dead body. Pitiful.
Well, that's a bleak news. Is that what I missed? Just horror and war,
It's pitiful, yeah.
stealing dead bodies,
Yeah.
plane crashes, death, destruction.
Obama smiling, laughing, drinking beer, playing pool.
Where was he drinking beer and playing pool? I missed a lot.
I don't know. That's all these terrible. The world's coming apart, and they show him, and he's just laughing it up.
Is he good at pool?
Hell, I don't know.
Because that could be a way we could settle some of this stuff. Like, he doesn't look like the kind of guy that's going to be good at pool. But
No.
maybe it's a color of money thing where you think he ain't good. He's laughing. He's drinking beer. He's half in the bag. Obama is. Now Putin's going to step up and put him in his place, and then that's where Obama, Fast Eddie Obama, comes up, shows everybody who can really play pool. That could be what he's doing, Jackie.
I don't know what you're talking about. To me, he don't look like he's doing much of anything. Putin's doing stuff. Putin is a leader. I mean, it's terrible stuff. He's doing bad. I mean, he's shooting planes out. That's what they said.
But
Putin.
he's a leader.
Yeah, can you see Obama shooting a plane down?
No, well, he's got them drones. I can see him like flying a little plane.
Little something like that, not like a jetliner or anything. I mean, like.
Now, I see why so many people respond to Putin's leadership and his manliness,
In comparison, yeah.
his decisiveness. And I know we don't like Putin here in this country, but people do people respond to it. But there's a grudging respect that because of how much better Putin is than Obama.
Well, yeah. But I mean, as a leader doing stuff.
Doing things out there, being proactive.
He's doing something. Obama
Not
ain't
sitting around
doing nothing.
Side ball corner pocket.
Yeah.
Hit me again. Set him up, Joe. Drunk.
Yeah.
You think he's got a drinking problem? He's down there. It's just like in the White House. I did hear something about the White House bowling alley.
That's Nixon put that in. That's years ago. Nixon likes bowling.
Well, I heard that Obama, I did hear them, they were talking about this in the strip club. I said Obama wanted to spend all this money putting in, fixing up the bowling alley at the White House, and that they either introduced a bill, some Republicans, we introduced a bill, or we passed a bill saying, no, we ain't going to spend any more money on a bowling alley. And then it turned out maybe Obama had said they weren't going to spend the money on it. But just the fact that he's got a bowl, if I were Obama and all this horrible stuff had happened this week, what first thing I would do is go down to the bowling alley with a can of gas and a lit match, and I'd say, you know what, symbolically, I'm going to destroy this bowling alley.
Yeah.
And then destroy it for real. But
Well,
it's a symbol of how that's what Putin would do. He would destroy something that seems frivolous,
Yeah.
passive sport. Roll a ball down a thing
Yeah.
like an idiot. Silly that even exists. Obama should have had that cut up into firewood.
Well, he ain't going to be proactive on nothing. He won't even go down to the border. Everybody's saying go down there and look at it. Look how terrible it is. Rick Perry asked him come down there and see how things are.
Scared somebody.
Yeah, of course he's scared. Rick
citizen
Perry
arrest.
ain't scared. Him and Sean Hannity out there.
I saw that on the boat.
Yeah,
I did
on the
see
boat
that.
with a gun. They a little scared. They put on the jackets, bulletproof vest, whatever, but at least they went, You think a president with all the people he's got watching him, Secret Service wouldn't be,
Well, you got to go. I mean, get on a little boat and you're the president. You do have to go. Okay, all these Secret Service guys got to get on this boat too, and that's why That's why he's in a pool hall instead of in a bowling alley instead of on a boat fishing. Because it looks stupid. A little boat, you got the president, a couple Secret Servicemen, and then another boat behind him full of Secret Servicemen. It just paints a terrible picture.
he looks stupid
The
no matter
optics are
what
not
he's
good
doing
on
to
that.
me. To me, he does. Like he don't give a damn about nothing. The world's burning, and he just playing pool.
Is he playing a lot of pool?
It seemed like that's what he's doing. It seemed like he is doing.
Maybe he is
Color
not
money, just going across the country, pool halls.
hustling.
Yeah. Wouldn't put it past him. I don't know. Fast Eddie.
Maybe he's trying to get the country out of debt with his winnings.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think he's just doing it for fun. He ain't doing nothing for trying to help this country at all. Lord knows.
And so we want him to go to the border, just look at it and see how bad it is.
Well,
and
you know,
maybe apologize.
Well, he can say I'm sorry as much as he wants. I ain't gonna accept no apology from him. It's too late now.
And some people think he's behind it, right? That he's plotting this to get all these kids sent up here so that Democrats have more. Is that what it is? More votes? More Democratic hands in the voting
more
booth.
people, he's the one letting them in.
Pulling them levers.
Yeah. You know, they don't have to speak any English to hit the Democrat button, do you?
You got to know what a D is, I guess.
Well,
or a donkey.
You know, picture or something. Yeah, donkey. Burro.
So, Obama ain't going to go to the border. I did hear it's Katrina. Because they said Bush wouldn't go down. But that's different. Bush was in a plane. You got to land that. He was flying over where you could see all the destruction. To me, it looked like. I don't know what they want. They want him to go down there, step on the nail.
You see, yeah. You'd have to be up there to see it all, you know.
That just seems dangerous, just wading through a lot of water. The president needs to be decisive. Take action.
Yeah.
Be proactive. Be a leader, even if it's terrible things he's doing. And he needs to go to the border and meet all the children, have his picture taken with them, so we can see later which ones are voting for him.
Yeah.
When we take pictures outside the voting booths.
He's like, I don't even got to go down there and glad hand anybody. I got the votes anyway.
But Bush... That was probably too dangerous of a situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was, you know, I guess them children, they say they coming up here with lots of diseases and this and that.
Well, I've heard that.
Yeah, they say all these children got diseases, and they said a lot of them's going to grow up to be gang members.
And sick.
And they're sick, or they're going to grow up to be gang members somehow. I don't know how to know that already, but if you was raised in that, I
thought they were getting away from
Well,
gangs.
that's what I thought, too, but evidently that's not the case. I understand that they're going to grow up. Yeah, they're sending them up here to grow up to be in a gang or rape somebody, something like that. That's what I heard.
Little Rascals were kind of a gang.
Well, yeah, but they didn't rape nobody.
Why you got... No, it did not seem... And it did seem like Darla was on equal footing with the other members of the gang.
Well, she wasn't allowed in the He-Man woman-hating
club. Oh, that's
so,
right. There was that. There was a lot of sexism in the... Well... So possibly, who knows where... But you watch something like that,
well,
and
either
that's
way,
the culture.
They didn't hurt her none. Like they say some of these kids are going to grow up to do. I don't know. You know, I'm just saying what people said. I ain't saying it myself. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff that people are saying out there that you don't know what's true or what ain't.
People are mad. People are mad. But some people are mad. Okay, let me see if I can break this down from what you're saying. Some people are mad at the kids.
Well,
Get these kids, just ship them back to Mexico even though they are not from Mexico.
Yeah.
Get them out of here.
Yeah.
Then some people feel bad for the kids. Well, it's Obama's fault completely anyway.
Yeah.
And he should be doing something. Humanitarian crisis, how did this happen? So some people say Obama's behind it. He wants more gangs that will vote for him. Some people say Obama let it happen and he's hurting the kids and the country. And then some people just think we need to help the kids.
I don't know. Look, that's what I'm saying. Look, I'm not the president. I just run a market and a barbecue store. That's all I do. But if I was president, which I ain't and don't want to be, and I was hearing a gang member, sick, rape, this, that, all this stuff, it seems like I'd want to get down there and find out what the hell's going on. But he don't care.
Because if they got these diseases, he's got Obamacare. Seems like this would be a good way to put it to work.
To show everybody, but he knows that ain't going to work. He knows better than that. That'll show the true nature of it. It's pitiful.
I don't like talking about politics, Jackie.
I
to be
don't
honest
either.
with you.
It's
I think
getting
we were
worse
better
and
off
worse.
talking about me in the strip club in Chattanooga.
I don't want to talk about that either. No. I'm just saying the world's a terrible place. It's just getting worse and worse, and I don't know what to believe. You hear so many different things. Some people said Putin shot that jet down. Some people said it did. I don't know. It seems like if you was in charge, like you're supposed to be, America's supposed to be in charge. At one time it was. America was in charge. It made the decisions of what this and what that, and had a say in something. And it don't no more. America don't know what the hell's going on.
If somebody was going to shoot down a jetliner, it would be America. We would be taking center stage in the theater of the world.
Well, yeah.
But now Putin's the one doing it.
He's doing it. Russia's,
I'm not saying we should shoot down planes.
No, nobody should shoot down a plane, but
It just seems like we're reacting to everything.
Somebody's doing something. He's acting. He's doing something. He ain't sitting around twiddling his thumbs and playing pool, drinking beer. He's doing something.
Used to people would say, America would just say, yay, watch it. And people would not invade Gaza, or Gaza wouldn't shoot rockets.
Right.
Or they wouldn't ship a bunch of kids up from Guatemala.
No, we'd say, but
Or Putin wouldn't move a plane full of dead bodies. Or ISIS wouldn't exist.
No, it wouldn't if we'd have stayed
we were strong, and people feared us.
Even when Bush took time off and took a break, what was he doing? He was down there clearing brush.
Making the world better.
Making
prettier.
the world, doing something. He waited till he got finished being president to start painting little pictures, this and that. He didn't do that when he was president.
No, that would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done something like that.
But now, Obama's doing the stupid stuff.
He's
like
doing this,
playing
and he's the president. Of course, we all knew what Clinton's was doing.
That's better than playing pool.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but
I don't blame Clinton. Now, you may say I'm wrong, but I just think that's what powerful people do, men and women. I'm not trying to make you sexist. If Hillary Clinton gets in there and she comes out and she's got a parade of 20-year-old pool boys getting up in there,
I don't want to.
Good for her.
No.
Now, Bush managed to weigh power and responsibility. I'm just saying, if you up in there, don't let off steam with a trick shot. Get a blowjob.
All right. Enough. I'm not going to hit.
Hey, you going to tell me Putin ain't got a bunch of hot 6-foot Czechoslovakian girls running around in there?
I don't know what he's got.
Wherever he lives? The Kremlin? Is that where he lives?
Russia.
In Russia, wherever Putin is, he is attended.
Yeah. Well, he got divorced anyway. If it is doing that, he at least had the decency to get divorced before he started with you, whatever you say he's doing.
You know what he's doing.
Well,
terrible world.
Yeah. Getting worse every day.
It just seemed to be.
I don't know. Maybe we could be back next week. Maybe not. We said we're going to do 100. I hope the world still ain't burnt down before we can finish these out.
And you wonder why people go to trading card conventions and look at Mark and Mindy screenshots.
Well, I do. I don't know why anybody would do any of that.
We got to get our mind off things. We're just the people. We're the citizens. The president is supposed to have his mind on it, not shooting
Well,
pool.
that's his job. People...
He's supposed to take it so that we can relax.
Bunch of idiots elected him to be an idiot, looks like. To me, anyways.
Can we wrap this up on a happy note? It's something about Polaroids commercials.
No, Polaroid's commercial said James Garner gone. They're no longer with us. If I see those, my eyes get moist just thinking about won't ever get any more of these. Of course, they don't make a Polaroid camera even anymore.
No, those days are gone.
Yeah, James gone. A Polaroid camera's gone. Having a decent president, I don't know if we'll ever have a good one again.
Not with all these sick children voting.
Now, I'm sorry. I don't mean people. You may think this is racist or that or whatever. I'm just
Maybe
saying.
you shouldn't say it.
I will.
Maybe you should stop right now.
Sick Guatemalan children shouldn't be deciding the fate of this country. I'm gonna say it right now.
I'm not sure if that's racist or not, honestly.
Well, I don't mean it to be.
Can't quite piece it together. Possibly it is.
They can decide what they vote in their own country, not here. You watch. If the Obama goes down there, if he finally does go down there, it'll be to set up voting booths. Burrow, donkey, Burrow. Teach all of them which button
it got racist. Maybe while they're in the voting booths, though, maybe you can have a nurse in there or something to fix them up, get them feeling better at least.
Well, he promised them that, just like he did Obamacare with everybody here. There's plenty of sick people. I see sick people every day. Obamacare is supposed to come out and get everybody better. People are still sick all the damn time. I'd go so far to say it's even sicker.
You think diseases are worse?
Well, that's what another thing happened in the world. Disease Control Center got loose. Remember that happened where you were gone.
What did
Center of Disease Control, whatever it is, government agency, diseases got loose, anthrax or whatever it is, smallpox. I don't know what it is. They don't even know how to do the job anymore since Obamacare took over.
I missed a lot.
It's pitiful.
So you ain't gonna take any of these poor sick kids in and give them a place to stay while they're waiting to be sent home?
I don't want to get sick. I ain't got but a few years left as it is. I don't want to hurry the process up. I ain't ready to leave just yet. I will be for too long. Don't you worry.
These kids need somebody to look after them, Jackie. While
I ain't saying they don't. I ain't got nothing.
I don't know if they've opened them up for adoption, but I think it'd be cool to hang around with a couple kids, a couple gangsters.
Well, go down there. Somebody needs to adopt them. I know there's lots of Christian families that adopt all sorts of different kind of children, sick children, this and that.
Well, I want the cool ones. Ones that come to school and be like, oh, who's that? He's one of them Guatemalan kids. Like, oh, he's dreamy. You know, the ones that get girls and they gonna have a cool car.
Huh.
When they get to high school, I want to hang around with some cool kids.
Well, these kids,
Not the sick ones.
People say that, and I understand that. How can you get mad and be upset at children? Well, it ain't their fault. They don't know any better. They ain't lived long enough to learn nothing yet. Don't matter where they're from. I ain't being racist. I don't care where it was. If for some reason, which, you know, with Obama being president, and especially if Hillary comes in after him, it won't be too long before little American children, we're sending them all to Canada.
Why would we do that?
He's wanting to get them the hell out of this country.
I see. I didn't know.
Getting worse. Then Canada's got to deal with it.
Where would they send kids?
I don't know.
When things get bad there.
I don't know. You can't go any further north after that.
Rough week.
Yeah. I don't see no silver lining to it myself.
Yeah, maybe we should just stop talking about politics.
That'd be fine. Me, ain't nothing good to say. Don't say it. It's what I was, raised to believe. If you ain't got nothing good to say, just don't say nothing. So I guess that's where it is as far as politics in the world is concerned.
I bet you Casey Kasem's going to turn up.
I hope so. Hopefully we can come back on here next week and we'll be able to report they found his body and they put him in the ground or wherever he's supposed to go.
Now, hopefully James Garner will get buried
I hope that goes
without a hitch.
I hope they get him. Funeral goes fine. Get him in the ground where he needs to be. And hopefully we'll be able to. I want to be able to get on here next week and say they found old Casey Kasem, and they had a nice funeral. Played him out, put him in the ground.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be a good. That's still a little depressing, but still be nice.
Well, that's better than no one knowing where the body is.
That's true. That is true. That is probably the worst. The worst way
Now,
to talk
granted,
about.
he's dead. He's done passed on, so at least he don't have to go through this. Bless his soul. But we all do.
He'll turn up.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, like I said, hopefully we can tell you next week we got some good news. I hope they find something to do with all these children and they, quit shooting planes down and ISIS calms down and Israel. I hope all that works out too, but it'd be nice to say they found old Casey Kasem.
It would be nice.
Yeah. Now we done?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All
Hey,
right.
thanks, everybody, for listening.
Yeah. I didn't mean to be racist about them kids. It ain't their fault. They don't know any better. They can't even speak English. Bless their souls.
This is a part of the show where Jackie apologizes for being racist.
I
every
wasn't
week.
racist. I'm just saying that
Poor children.
poor children, Obama sitting there laughing about it, thinks it's funny. Everybody getting mad at the Republicans down there screaming for them to go home. We get mad at Tea Party people, what's worse, that or Obama going, come on over here and put you in a cage. Pitiful. Well, I hope everything gets sorted out, whatever. They find Casey Kasem, find home for his children, send them back to their home or wherever it is they belong. Maybe things will turn out good next week. Maybe we'll get on here and say all the war is stopped and Obama decided to leave office.
President Biden.
No,
Really?
hell, no. Never mind.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Rate and review it, whatever.
All rates a review. We sure do appreciate y'all doing that. Thank you kindly.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to us.
Yeah.
Still going.
Hey, just hang in there and listen. All we can do is hope for the best. I pretty much give up on that, but I hope y'all haven't either. Just because I'm an old miserable man don't mean that y'all need to be. So, hope for the best. That's all I can say. Good luck, I guess.
That's that's it.
All right.